My friends, we've got some breaking news from overnight as Sean Diddy Combs is being sued again. In a lawsuit filed Tuesday, former model Crystal McKinney is accusing Combs of sex assault. The model claims she was drugged and sexually assaulted by Combs back in 2003. According to her complaint, Combs invited McKinney to a studio session where McKinney says she was given laced marijuana that made her very intoxicated. She says Combs then began kissing her without her consent and forced her to perform oral sex on him. McKinney claims she then lost consciousness while at the studio, but later woke up in a taxi cab. This is the 7th lawsuit filed against Combs since November of 2023, and this is the 6th lawsuit that accuses him of sex assault. Our question this morning, how is Diddy going to handle this new suit? Let's bring in our power panel. With me, domestic violence expert Claudia King, criminal defense attorney Franz Borghardt, and former district attorney and private criminal defense attorney Matthew Mangino. Great to see you all. Claudia King, I would love to start with you, tapping into your law enforcement expertise, having investigated sex assault cases. Talk to me about what you're thinking this morning and what Diddy might do.
Well, good morning, Julie. Thank you so much for having me. I think this is only the tip of the iceberg. I think that the suits are just going to keep rolling in. Of course, from a law enforcement perspective, doing the investigation so long since the crime is going to be very difficult. You would have to rely on outcry witnesses or any evidence that might have been collected at the time or right around the time of the assault. But I don't think we're going to hear anything from Diddy unless there's a video, because we see the only thing he's apologized for so far is what we have actually seen occur. So I think he'll probably stay quiet on this one, but we're going to see more come in.
Great points, Claudia. Thank you for that. Franz Borghardt, to you next, please. What might Diddy do now?
Well, hopefully he'll stop making videos. That doesn't help. I know the idea is that, well, you know, it's on video, so I need to address it, and maybe the statute of limitations has run on it. The problem is, as I'm sure his legal team has told him, this is all fodder for admissible other crimes evidence, right? This may not be something he can be charged with. It may not be something he can be sued directly with, but this may come into every single other suit. So if I'm him, and he certainly has the financial bandwidth to do it, I would start settling as quickly as I can, which is what he's done in the past.
Exactly. Next day with Cassie and Franz. I love the point you brought up. This is a perfect thing to ask Matthew Mangino about. So, Matthew, these feds who are investigating him, we know right now something big's going on behind closed doors that we're not privy to. Agents raided 2 of his homes. We know they're working with federal prosecutors, we can safely assume, on potential charges. This suit number 7, is this kind of a gift for these prosecutors? Do you think they're combing through it, seeing what they can do in terms of evidence extraction, as Franz said, to use as ammunition in a criminal prosecution, perhaps?
Well, if Homeland Security does go forward with a criminal prosecution based on these search warrants that had been served in the past, you know, the federal government is quite liberal with regard to prior bad acts. I mean, you know, every state has, you know, rules of evidence that deals with prior bad acts, but the federal government seems to be a little more liberal in their admission of prior bad acts. So if in the context of the federal investigation, it's about, you know, human trafficking and sex offenses, you know, his conduct in these prior 7 lawsuits, you know, might be able to be used against him because they represent a modus operandi, a sort of, you know, pathway into what he's doing and what his conduct has been in the past and what could be considered by a jury in the federal case pending.
Right. Great points, Matthew. Thank you for that. Let's talk more about that video of him brutally assaulting Cassie Ventura. So apparently, according to CNN, Diddy had paid the hotel $50,000 in order to get that video. And in getting the video, it was hidden for many, many years, right? We know 2016 is when it occurred. Now it's been leaked. What might the next steps be for him and his legal team? We know he went out and made that video. Franz, you said, you saw him making that video. You said, we hope he doesn't make any more. And I don't think I've seen one comment. I mean, truly, maybe I'm sure there are some Diddy supporters. There have to be. But all the comments I saw underneath that video were just pure disgust. And everybody thought he just was so disingenuous. Franz, what do you think might be next in regards to that video?
So, the saving grace for him was there was at least an argument that they have to prove that it was him in the video, which I know sounds somewhat absurd, but it was an argument, right? Well, that cat's out of the bag now. So for that video, it's one, the question becomes what other videos are out there? What other evidence did he try to financially suppress? $50,000 to suppress a video like this, that's nothing for him, right? That's financially not a big sum of money for him. Would be a lot of money for me. The worst part about this is if he would have just kept his mouth shut and not made his own little, this is why I'm sorry for this one, there might have been some wiggle room on this, right? But he's now locked in. He's made a video. He's looking at the camera, and he's stuck.
He sure is. Pants on fire, or bath towel on fire in his case, Sean Diddy Combs. I mean, clearly lying, and the lying is just reprehensible. That beating was so brutal, he could have killed her. All that being said, we're going to continue watching Diddy and all of his legal problems. We'll report anything in the way of any charges if we hear that is happening. So far, no charges yet from the federal government.